Using a combination of the First and Second Amendment, can I antagonize homeless people until they touch me and then blow their head off?
Oh, holy fuck, I just spat my fucking water everywhere. That's fucking hilarious. Colby Covington just went on Matan Evan's podcast. If you don't know Matan Evans, he's one of the biggest trolls that exists on YouTube or on social media these days. I'm pretty sure everyone knows him from back like in the Andrew Tate era where he was making fun of girls who can't read, OnlyFans chicks that can like barely knew anything. He'd be like, name 10 books, all that type of stuff. He's got the ultimate troll of the UFC, Colby Covington, on his podcast. I haven't watched this yet, but I'm gonna just give it my live reaction, cut out all the unnecessary parts so that you can see all the best stuff. Let's go.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. For today's guest, we have Colby Covington. Please welcome in. For today's co-host, please welcome in Mike. Welcome in, Mike. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, brother. Appreciate you.
Welcome in, Mike.
It's like the
Please,
most
in
polite
case
Colby's ever
anybody
been.
doesn't know you, please just introduce yourself and all that one.
Okay, so I'm Colby Covington, UFC fighter, former world champion, Donald Trump's favorite fighter, the King of Miami. So it's an honor to be here and talk to you today. Always a pleasure to sit down with Matan. He's a young, bright mind and someone that a lot of kids should look up to and aspire to be like.
Should it be considered an official win if you get your opponent to kill themselves before the fight?
Yeah, I think that should be a win by default. Absolutely. That should definitely be a win, you know?
Not by touching them or anything, just encouragement or something like that.
Yeah, I think so. I think that, you know, that's deep mind games. And if you're able to beat someone in the mind like that before the fight, then you win by default.
And it should come.
Colby would try this for his next fight, except he would fuck up what he's about to say, like when he did the whole seventh circle of hair thing with fucking Leon Edwards.
Count on the record.
You should count on the record. Why not? You know, I think you should get a win for that, right?
What about the other guy's record? Should he have a loss? Should he have any of his wins wiped, or how should that work?
Yeah, I mean, I think that he should definitely have the win, and you know, there shouldn't be any losing. If you beat someone before they ever show up to the fight, then that's a win.
Why do people keep telling me to call Triple H when my car breaks down?
Yeah, Triple H is you know, a great service that can come pick you up. You know, they can do more than just wrestle in a ring and
Yeah,
be
but
a
it's
world
just
champ.
one guy. How's he gonna go around and fix everybody's car?
And he's a superhero. That one guy could fix everybody's car at the same time. He's a legend like that.
This is going to be fun to just watch these two try and out troll each other the whole time.
Yeah, he might be a cool guy and stuff, but I don't think he has like any extra capabilities. Maybe he's like athletic or something, but I feel like that would be about it.
I heard he can fly though. Did you know he could fly?
You can fly.
Triple H can fly.
Triple H can fly
Yeah, he has wings.
like a plane.
Like a plane, yeah, with wings. And it, you know, goes up in the air. And
Yeah, but if he's flying to people's cars on a plane and he has to go through security and stuff, that's just gonna take a long time.
No, I think he could do it right away. He could be quick.
Yeah, but I'm just one of how many people who needs their car fixed.
That's true. I heard he could fix multiple cars at one time though.
You can fix multiple cars?
No, I don't. I like to fight. I'm a fighter. That's my profession. Triple H though, he could do it all.
Is it true that in every Jew's hat is a pound of gold?
Say that again?
Is it true that in every Jew's hat is a pound of gold?
I can't give a take on that. You know, I'm not sure.
They all have that little thing on, you know what I'm talking about?
No,
Wow. Okay, so when it goes troll, 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 and they just escalate, this is Colby's lines when it starts getting to Jews having a pound of gold in their hat.
I'm not sure what you're talking about there.
You never seen that hat?
Oh, okay, I've seen the hat. Yeah, I've seen the hat.
And then, I mean,
can't give a take on of what's in there.
I'll let you, I'm Jewish.
Okay, cool.
But
A lot of Jewish friends.
well, I don't know if you'd want to count me as Jewish. It'd be like saying, you have a black friend named Candice Owens, but you see what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you. I mean, I don't see what you mean. Candace is a friend of mine, but I see that.
She's a cool, you know, like white woman, basically.
No, I mean, she's definitely an African woman, but
By
she's
color, yes. Not
she's-
by logic.
okay. You know, that's open to interpretation and opinion, but you know, she's a smart lady and she has her viewpoints, and you know, that's what makes America so beautiful is that you know it's the land of the free, and we all have and entitled to our own opinion.
it's so funny to watch someone be like more extreme than Colby is. He actually doesn't know how to handle it. But I'm already like liking this version of Colby. I actually wish that he would be more like this in the press conferences. He's natural.
Yeah, but when I say that hat, by the way, I'm not talking about the little one. I'm talking about that one that the rabbis wear. You ever seen the one that goes up all the way?
I haven't seen that one.
Their head must be strong because it's carrying so much gold.
It must be, right?
And by the way, I don't know if the mics are working. Can we get in the sound guy, please?
Oh, fuck.
What's next for Colby Covington? A Hell in a Cell match against The Undertaker?
I think that would be a great match. I think that's a possibility to transfer over to the WWE since they're under the same umbrella with the UFC, under the TKO banner now. So it's a possibility.
Are you done in the UFC?
No, I'm not done.
Colby's always trying to be the company man, cross promote. Even if he's not getting in the WWE for whatever reason, he just has to like just lick the boots of Dana and UFC, man.
The UFC is, I still have some unfinished business, but I want big fights, high level, first ballot Hall of Famer type fights, legacy fights. So if they're not able to do that, then I will transfer over.
Against who would you want to fight next?
I mean, I think the Paddy Pimblett fight's interesting. He's got a little bit of name right now, but only because he's
Paddy Pimblett? You're not even in the same weight division. And then I bet this was filmed before the Ilya thing, but like, why would you even, you're asked who are you going to fight, and you say Paddy Pimblett? That fight's never happening. You say, I want Hall of Famers, and then you go Paddy Pimblett. Colby is fucking frustrating sometimes. I used to be like the biggest Colby fan just because I liked the fact that he would troll. And I also thought that he fought like a demon, when he had these Kamaru fights and everything like that. But he's lost having his like finger on the pulse of what is actually going on in the UFC, honestly.
He's got, an English accent and a bowl cut. Otherwise, the guy's just
You want to fight him because he's smaller. It's an easy fight.
No, he's actually bigger than me. He's a weight bully. Yeah, he cuts a lot of weight.
But he's like a taller guy and stuff.
He's like a taller guy, same height, a little bigger in girth.
Wouldn't you be more used to weighing more?
I would be a little bit used to weighing more because he's one weight class down, but he cuts more weight. So he's like a 200-pound guy cutting to 155, cutting 45 pounds,
And you cut weight as well or no?
Only like 10 pounds. I'm a 170 pounder. I cut like 10 pounds to get to 170.
So why don't you fight in like the 120-pound division and you'll have a super advantage?
Yeah, I would have the weight bully advantage, but I'm not a weight bully. I don't want to bully people around.
Alternatively, why don't you become heavier so you can compete in the unified championship?
I never thought about that before. That's a great piece of advice. Thank you. See, that's what I need. Why didn't I think of that before?
I don't know. Nobody mentioned it.
Jeez. Thank you. I appreciate you.
I don't know why people haven't thought of that, because then if they do that fight, the unified one, then everybody's going to know that they're the best one.
That's so true. Wow. I never really thought about it like that. Thank you.
Do you know Dana White?
Yeah.
Can you pitch him my idea?
I will pitch him your idea. Yeah, I'm supposed to have a meeting with him in a couple of days. Actually.
Do you think he'll take me seriously or no?
Absolutely. Who wouldn't take you seriously? You're the most serious guy there is.
I think I'm pretty serious.
Oh, all the time. I've never seen you not serious.
Hey guys, sorry for the interruption. I'm here to promote my Patreon. Is it racist to tell an Asian person to open their eyes if they're not listening?
No comment on that one. I'm not sure what to say to that.
Why not? Well, it's not a race thing, but every time I say it to one of them, it's like, oh no, I can't say that because they have small eyes. But that's not why I said it, but they do. So what does it become?
I don't have a opinion on that subject.
What do you mean you don't have an opinion? You have one, you just don't want to say it. I thought you're a free speech truther.
I am a free speech absolutist, but
So then say something nasty.
I can't say something nasty. I don't want to get canceled,
I thought you wouldn't have cared about that.
Yeah, I don't talk about race and religion, Everybody knows.
Is that why you didn't want to comment on my former Jewish stuff?
Yeah, pretty much.
I
mean, you're like a pretty strong guy. You could beat most people in a fight.
Is that true? Does Colby not talk about race or religion? I'm trying to think. He called Kamaru's dad a felon. He talked about Leon not having hair. He hasn't really. He did the Brazil thing. Hey, Brazil, you're a bunch of filthy animals. But he wasn't actually saying you're filthy animals because you're Brazilian. He's talked about that a lot and said that it was just because they were, insulting him, throwing stuff at him, and that's interesting. I would have thought that he wouldn't have had these lines of like race or religion. It's interesting.
Using a combination of the First and Second Amendment, can I antagonize homeless people until they touch me and then blow their head off?
Oh, holy fuck! I just spat my fucking water everywhere. That's fucking hilarious. Can you do that? Could you just go up to someone and talk as much shit as you want until they attack you and then shoot them? I mean, as long as you didn't like threaten them or anything, right? There's water all over my fucking computer now. Oh fuck.
Jeez. What'd you say? Say it one more time.
I mean, it was pretty clear what I said.
I lost my train of thought. That was a good one. You got me. But yeah.
I'll get him with the First Amendment, and then once he loses control, because they can only sustain so much.
Well said.
So what do you think? Should it be allowed?
Yeah, I think it should be allowed.
Now, I think it should be allowed, and I'm a big Constitution guy. The one issue I find with it is that I don't really think it benefits society at all. Just to have dead homeless people on the ground all over the place.
Yeah, that's true. That wouldn't be a good look, but there's pretty much that all over the place anyways, the way the government's incentivizing bums these days. Because I think taxation is theft.
So you think your future is as a politician?
I think it is, yeah. I may run for Congress here in Las Vegas next year.
What would be your selling point? Because I feel like what you're saying is good, but it's just what everybody says.
Yeah, my selling point is I'm already a made man. I'm not going to sell out, the taxpayer dollar just so I can enrich myself. I'm going to, support my great online casino BC game, the greatest online casino in the world.
Are you going to be for real right now, or you're out of your mind?
No, I'm always for real.
Oh, could you imagine if Colby actually ran as a politician? Like, weirdly enough, I think he could actually make it happen if he was able to just get enough attention. I do think that some of these fighters could, like, depending on who they were going against and depending in the state, I'd be interested to see Colby make a run. But I do love how he goes, I'm a made man, I don't sell out, and then Matan just points straight to his fucking sponsored shirt.
He's already a made man. He's not going to sell out his fans until he tells them to gamble online.
Yeah, but, I tell them, gamble responsibly. Never gamble with money you're not afraid to lose.
You know what well, it's just, come on. Let's be for real.
Are you into crypto?
No, are you?
Yeah, I'm a little. I think crypto's.
You're a made man who's selling out everything.
No, I'm a big believer in diversification. I think cryptocurrency is,
the future,
a hedge to the future for the dollar.
So that could be your selling point to the people of Vegas. You say, hey, we're gonna lower taxes because what we're gonna do is have you guys gamble your money online, and then you'll use my referral code, and then you'll do it in crypto, my new coin. Do you think Jon Jones will ever fight Tom Aspinall?
0%. I've been saying this since day one. He will never fight Aspinall. He knows it's a bad matchup. The coke woman beater Jon Jones. He's washed up. He's done. He's not gonna fight Tom.
You think he's unhealthy from drinking all that coke?
Oh yeah, he's drinking all that coke, doing all that ecstasy, all the drugs he's done, and especially the alcohol. It catches up to you in time.
Yeah, but having a bottle here or there of it can't be that bad. What is it, 140 calories per can?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't really drink, so. Do you drink?
I drink coke every now and then.
Coke? Okay.
But not often. I don't think it's the healthiest thing. But why would that make him lose against Aspinall?
Yeah, just because he just doesn't have a disciplined lifestyle. His lifestyle choices are really bad, and he's afraid of Tom. If he wanted to fight Tom, he would have fought him already. But he's afraid. That guy.
He's probably drinking all the time and gambling.
For sure, but maybe not gambling.
Oh yeah, you realize you've remembered you had a gambling sponsor? You can't say that?
No, I can say whatever I want, My gambling sponsor
Do you gamble
lets me
on
speak
it?
freely. Of course I gamble on it. I gamble all the time. I play the slots. I hit $150,000 last night on Wukong.
Yup.
Amazing slot on the BC game online casino. Amazing.
How do you not laugh at this?
At what?
Oh my. Well, you know what? You hit $150,000 on the Wukong. What does that mean?
It means that, I'm 100.
Oh, this is such a great call out. I mean, there's so many things happening here. It is funny that like Colby and Jon Jones used to live together, and Colby and Jon hate each other. And you know, it's funny because a lot of people think that Colby's a piece of shit, but I would actually say that that is one of the key pieces of evidence that show that Colby Covington's actually probably a pretty good guy. I think that if you hate Jon Jones, not if you hate Jon Jones, but if you're willing to call him out for being a piece of shit, probably means that you've got a decent moral compass somewhere. At the same time, Colby's one of those guys that likes to jump on the, if he knows that a lot of people don't like Jon Jones, he would say that, but I don't know. He doesn't like Jon Jones. He doesn't like Jorge Masvidal. Both are sort of scumbags. So
Do you think you could beat Bruce Lee in a fight?
Bruce Lee is, the martial arts GOAT. So, I believe in myself against any man alive. Anybody that has a pulse and a beat, I think I
Besides
beat them.
Bruce Lee?
Yeah, Bruce is the GOAT though. He's an amazing martial artist. He taught and led the way for all of us fighters today. The way his discipline and his work ethic back in the day, like we're all inspired by Bruce Lee's techniques and more important, his quotes. His quotes live down in infamy. They're just a lot
Ching
of
chong, ching chong.
something like that.
Well, what quote were you talking about?
I think the one that I love to identify is like he
let me guess. Be like water. I'm guessing be like water.
always said, I don't fear the man that knows 1,000 kicks. I fear the man that knows one kick and he practices it 1,000 times.
Yeah, but he didn't.
I'm wrong. Which is like crazy because Colby Covington throws his strikes like he's never trained any of them ever. He like literally throws uppercuts. He's throwing his like whole body into it and it like ends up reaching the fucking sky when it doesn't hit the guy. And same with like his kicks himself. He's thrown like tornado kicks in his fight against Joaquin Buckley, I believe. And it's like, did you train that or are you just like trying to throw some random shit? He's just like, I'm gonna maul you with pressure. It does not feel like any of his strikes have been like crisply trained over and over and over again and refined. So I'm surprised that that's his quote.
How was it like fighting Donkey Kong?
It was
And
incredible.
by the way, that's not racist. It's a donkey.
It's a donkey.
Before anybody calls me a racist, it's not actually.
Yeah. It's good. I love Smash Brothers, so I always like to fight against
Oh, I'm asking about your UFC career.
Oh, my UFC career? Oh, okay. Yeah, I fought a lot of Donkey Kongs.
Who do you think I'm referring to?
I don't know who.
You fought him twice. It was, I don't want to say his name.
Oh.
Usman?
Okay. What about him?
Yeah, I'm just asking how it was the experience fighting.
Oh.
And it's not racist because I said Donkey Kong.
Oh, okay. Since you said Donkey Kong, it's not racist.
Yeah, because he's a donkey.
Oh, okay. Yeah. My experience, it was good. He was, it was fun fights with him. I saw some fan yesterday in Vegas. They're saying, hey, that first Usman fight's going to go down in history. It's going to be in the Hall of Fame. So, very humbled to have shared the octagon with Usman.
Do you think they...
Both of those Usman fights were seriously some of the best fights of all time. Like the first Usman fight, we talked about the, Joshua Van versus Brandon Royval fight recently being like fight of the year, one of the best fights ever. The Colby Covington Kamaru Usman fight, the first one was just insane. Neither guy was willing to give up in that fight. I sort of do wish that Mark Goddard hadn't stopped it, even though probably in another 20 seconds it could have gotten stopped pretty easily because, Colby got damaged really bad in that fifth round. But yeah, the second fight as well was just insane. Usman wins the first 2 rounds and then Colby comes back and takes the next 2. And it's like, oh, awesome fights. Those were 2 legendary fights. They will go down in history.
They should do a third fight?
I think they should. I think they should do the trilogy. That fight makes sense. We're so evenly matched. It's always an exciting fight every time me and him step in the octagon against each other.
Well, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate you, brother.
Man, that was funny. That was fucking funny. Matan Even and Colby Covington, troll v troll. it was it was funny at the start, especially when Colby was like, just trolling back and forth and sort of escalating. But as soon as Matan started to like escalate it into race and religion and stuff like that, Colby started just shutting down, and then most of his answers were basically just, yeah, good point. I agree. Yeah, good point. I agree. And there wasn't enough feedback. So I'm sure that like by the time I cut this down, there's only going to be like a few really good clips that I love. But um, that comment about with can I use the First Amendment and the Second Amendment to go up to homeless people, antagonize them until they attack me, and then shoot them is hilarious. Matan Even, man, like check out this podcast, check out his channel if you like sort of cringeworthy uh style humor, like troll style humor. He's a really funny kid, man. Yes, I think it's interesting to see kids like this that he's probably making so much money just out of nowhere, going around like her calling OnlyFans models idiots for like the longest time until he started this podcast. But Colby, I wish we could see him fight more, man. I wish he would just get back in this whole like I only want legends fight thing. It's like, how about you go and just beat some guys? Let's have you go and get some wins first. Who was the last person that Colby actually beat? I honestly, it's been so long since. Oh, probably Jorge, right? It would have been Jorge Masvidal back in 2022, I think. God, was that really the last person that he beat? Yeah, Joaquin Buckley lost. Leon Edwards lost. Jorge Masvidal he beat in March of 2022. The guy hasn't had a win in 3 years, almost 3.5 years, man. Stop calling for legends. You fought Kamaru, you fought Jorge, you fought Leon Edwards, you fought Tyron Woodley. That was a good win. I mean, Tyron at that point was pretty much done. You fought Kamaru again for the title. Like you've had 3 title shots in your last 6 fights, and you've only had 2 wins in your last 6 fights. So, I know that he had a tear before that, in terms of wins. Who else? Robbie Lawler, Rafael Dos Anjos, Damian Maia, Kim Jong-hyun, Brian Barberena, Max Griffin, Wally Alves. Such an interesting. Where is Colby in the rankings? Um, he's 8th. Who would we match up Colby with next? The Colby Ian Gary fight would have been hilarious, but he put those ridiculous stipulations on there and then it was never going to happen. I'd be down to see. Oh, Colby Covington versus Michael Morales would be a good fight. That'd be a really good one. Other than that, you could do Colby Covington, Stephen Thompson. He had called him out in the past. I don't know who else you would really match him up with. I think you do Colby Covington versus Michael Morales. If he wins that, depending on what happens in Usman's next fight, I could see the Usman trilogy would actually be awesome. I'd love to see him try and make like a championship run at the end of his career, but the fact that he's basically saying that he's going to just like he just wants legend fights, sort of like how Dustin Poirier is saying it, it's like you why do you deserve legend fights? Sorry. No, that's not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is like when guys are saying I only want legend fights now, you're at the tail end of your career. You're thinking about retirement. You're not even trying to make a championship run anymore. If you were trying to make a championship run, you would be calling out Michael Morales. You'd go win that fight. It's actually probably a winnable fight for you. You then win that, you probably call out Shavkat or Sean Brady next, right out of the gate, or a Bilal. You got beef with Bilal. You could easily build up that fight, and the UFC would probably make Bilal take it. And then, you'd be back in there for a title shot if you beat any of those three guys. So the fact that he's calling for legend fights, both Colby and Dustin Poirier calling for legends fights, even though they've both had a ton of fucking legends fights, and I really don't understand why they have this massive sense of entitlement, like they should be getting that. But regardless, the what else was there about this Matan? Him calling out Colby for like getting all of his fans into gambling right after saying that he was a made man and he didn't need to sell out to anybody was also very, very funny. But let me know what you guys thought. Let me know if you've seen Matan's podcast before or if you find this type of reaction content interesting. I'd be down to do more of these if there's like fighters on different podcasts or in different interviews doing funny type stuff. But I had fun making this video. So like, subscribe, see you on the next one, guys.